Greater beggarticks, B.subalternans, is one of the weed beggarticks that have economic impact. B.subalternans affects raw crop planting, soybeans, corn, and others. It creates monodominant thickets along roadsides, shores of ponds, and ravines. B.subalternans is originally from South America, the territory where it is the most widespread beggartick species today. In 1903, the weed was found for the first time on the European continent on the territory of Belgium. This plant is now beginning to spread from its primary habitat. We already know about its presence in the southern part of Europe, for example, in Italy and Montenegro. The weed is getting close to the borders of Russia, too. Noxiousness of B.subalternans is very high. Like any other weed, it infests crops, competes with crops for resources, water, fertilizers, nutrients, sunlight, and therefore decreases yield. B.subalternans is a weed with a high degree of reproduction. One plant can have several thousands of fruits, which allows it to expand its habitat quickly. Probably noxiousness of B.subalternans is higher than that of B. pilosa because of its biological characteristics. It forms denser ground cover. B.subalternans is an annual weed, erect, with a taproot system. Stem is four-angular, glabrous, or sparsely pubescent. At the top of the plant, inflorescences are formed, from which later infructescence is developed. One of the characteristic features of the plant is yellow ray florets in capitula, in contrast to a common blackjack, which has white ray florets. The leaves of B.subalternans are pedicellate, from 6 to 21 centimeters long, pinnate or bipinnate. B.subalternans of standard form is usually described in comparison with closely related species, common blackjack, B. pilosa. Type form of B.subalternans with once pinnate leaves is very similar to B. pilosa, common blackjack. B. pilosa has more lobes, but usually the leaves are alike. The fruits are also similar. Achenes are needle-shaped, but they are not the same in terms of structure. Places of the divergence of the barbed awns and color of edges are different. The fruits of greater beggarticks have awns and trichomes, so they easily attach to clothing and animal hair. Species identification is carried out by complex morphological features. Flowers and good developed fruits are necessary for successful identification of the plant. Standard morphological identification method does not allow to performing identification of the plants without flowers and fruits. Control measures for B.subalternans are the same as those with other annual weeds. All kinds of eradications are effective: mechanical pulling out, chemical liquidation, and using herbicides.